Hi there, and welcome back to the Ingrain Workshop. I'm Rick, and in today's video we're going to be installing another Teeho keyless lock set. Last time I did this video we installed the keyless lock at the rear door to my house. This time we're going to be installing it in the front door of our tiny house. The difference with this installation is our tiny house door only has a lock on the actual knob. It doesn't have a deadbolt, so we'll have to prep the door for the deadbolt, which is something I didn't show in my last video, so let's get started. Okay, so this is everything that's included in the Teeho box. I went ahead and just laid it out so you could see what all it includes. It comes with your instructions. It comes with a template, which we're going to use because our door is not prepped for a deadbolt. The last video I did, the door was prepped for a deadbolt, so we didn't have to use that, but this time we will. You've got 4 mounting bolts, 2 that are used to hold the interior lock to the exterior lock. The reason why there are 2 lengths, depending on the thickness of your door, our door is 1 3/4 inch thick, so we're going to be using the longer bolts. If your door was 1 3/8, you'd be using the shorter bolts. Then we have some strike plate screws. Some smaller strike plate screws. So one will go to the strike plate at the deadbolt in the door, which is here. And then the other 2 screws will go in the strike plate that's on the frame of the door, which is where the deadbolt will insert into. It also comes with a reset tool. It comes with 3 small black Phillips head screws for mounting the interior lock to the interior mounting bracket. Then it comes with the exterior lock face. This is your biometric fingerprint, numbered combination, and keyed lock. So you have 3 opening variations, and then you have your actual deadbolt, and then your set of keys. And then you have your battery cover for the interior of the lock, and that's it. You will need a 1-inch spade bit for the deadbolt when we screw into the end of the door. And then you'll need a 2 3/8 inch Forstner bit, which will drill through the face of the door, which is what will accept the actual exterior face and interior face of the lock. All right, let's pause it right there. A 2 3/8 inch Forstner bit is not the right tool for this project. What you'll need is a 2 3/8 inch hole saw bit. Why do I say that? Well, let's just say accidents do happen, and you'll have to watch the rest of the video to see why. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on prepping the door. So here we are at the Shabby Shack. This is Z's she shed. It's a tiny house that we converted a couple of years ago during the pandemic. We didn't have anything better to do. We had a son that was moving back from Orlando. He needed a place to stay. So we bought one of these tiny homes that was completely unfinished on the interior, and we had to basically finish it from scratch. And I might do a walkthrough video one day of the tiny house, but for today, we're just installing the keyless deadbolt. So as you can see here at the door, it does have a door knob, but there is no hole for a deadbolt. So we're going to have to prep the door for a deadbolt, and that's the first thing we're going to do. Is we're going to take the template that came in the package. We're going to take painter's tape, and we're going to fasten it to the door, and then we'll start drilling out the 1-inch spade bit hole on the end of the door and the 2/8 inch Forstner bit for the hole here at the face of the door. Okay, so as you can see here on the end of the door, here is the strike plate for the door knob. I took and measured on the rear door of my house, and from the center of the knob to the deadbolt was 5.5 inches. So I've taken on this door and measured up from the center here up 5.5 inches, and this is where we're going to drill for the deadbolt. So the first thing we're going to have to do is take and put the template on the face of the door. So here we have the hole in the face of the door. Like I mentioned earlier, we've got a 1 3/4 inch door. So we're going to be drilling in the second center point here, which is for a 2 3/4 inch back set. And you're supposed to use the 2 3/4 inch back set for a 1 3/4 inch thick door. And then you use a 2 3/8 inch back set, which is this center point, for a 1 3/8 inch door. Same thing for the deadbolt. For the deadbolt, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be using the 1 3/4 inch center point, which is the second one. And then if you had an 1 3/8 inch door, you would use the center point on the left. Okay, now with the 1 inch hole cut in the end of the door, we're going to take and cut the 2 1/8 inch Forstner bit, cut the hole here at the front of the door. Okay, and now for the moment that everyone's been waiting for. You'll see here that the Forstner bit grabs and then goes right into my hand and cuts my hand in my palm and on my thumb. Nice. Might have to do this from the exterior. Okay, I want to be careful when I go through the door. I want to make sure that I don't mess up the interior of the door. So what I'm probably going to do is take here in the center and take a small drill bit and drill all the way through the door, and now start drilling from the back side of the door. Okay, a pro tip here, probably shouldn't have used a Forstner bit. Probably should have used a 2 1/8 inch hole saw instead of a 2 1/8 inch Forstner bit. The Forstner bit's just, eating out all the wood, and you really don't need that for this project. A hole saw would have been fine, but I'm going to continue on since I'm more than halfway done drilling it out. I'm going to drill. I've got now a small drill bit on the drill. I'm going to drill out the center of the hole, and then I'm going to drill with the Forstner bit from the interior of the hole back out to the outside. Okay, so now we have the 2 1/8 inch hole drilled through the face of the door for the interior lock and the exterior lock. Then we have the 1 inch hole drilled here on the end of the door for the actual deadbolt. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the template, and then we can start installing the deadbolt. But I might have to take a chisel and chisel out where the face plate of the deadbolt is going to go, so that will inset into the door. So that'll probably be the next thing that we do. So now, just like I did with the door, I measured up 5.5 inches from the center of the strike plate on the frame and made the center mark here at 5.5 inches. And now I'm going to use my 1 inch spade bit and drill a 1 inch hole through the face of the door. Now with the deadbolt inserted in the end of the door, I can just take and trace around the strike plate, so I'll know where to cut out with my chisel. So now I can just take my chisel and remove that, so the face plate will sit flush inside the door. So I don't know if you saw that, but there is a button here that you twist. So you twist it and you can shorten it for a 1 3/8 inch thick door. Ours is 1 3/4 inch. So we twist it, slide it out, and then twist it back, and it locks in place. Now it's longer. So this way, when I insert it into the opening, the slot here in the center, which is where the lock goes, will be in the center of the door opening. Now you can see here that the center of the lock is in the center of the opening. So we should be good to go here. We can put our 2 screws into the face plate of the deadbolt, and then we can start installing the exterior and interior lock faces. So now we've installed the 2 wood screws that hold the faceplate of the deadbolt in place. Next thing we're going to do is install the interior and exterior lock faces. So when we go to install the exterior lock face, you want to make sure that the locking slot on the face here is parallel or in the horizontal position. This is your wiring harness that's going to connect to the interior lock set. So this wiring harness will go below the deadbolt, and then the horizontal locking bar will go into the horizontal slot inside the deadbolt. So for right now, we're just going to leave the face of the deadbolt, the exterior deadbolt, in the door like this, and then we're going to install the interior lock. This is the interior mounting bracket for the interior lock. It goes on the face of the door. There's a slot right here. This slot is for the wiring harness to go through, and then the circle here fits over the circle coming from the exterior. And you can clearly see, I don't know if, but you can see here, it tells you that this is the face that goes against the door, and this is the top of the interior mounting bracket. So we're gonna put that toward the face of the door, put that like that, and then these 2 bolts here, these 2 holes here, are for the longer bolts that we're gonna use. And that's going to tie into the exterior lock of the door and hold the exterior of the lock of the door in place. And we're not going to tighten these all the way down, because we need to make sure that the exterior lock is lined up and in the vertical position before we tighten these screws down. So I'm going to open the door and adjust the exterior of the lock and get it in a level and plumb position, and then I'll come back and tighten down these screws. So now the exterior lock is level and plumb. Next, we want to take the wiring harness and plug it into the interface here on the interior lock. And there's a red mark on the interface, and then there's a red mark on the wiring harness. You just line those red marks up together. And insert the wiring harness into the interface, and then you're done. And then as far as the interior lock, you want to make sure that the knob is in the unlocked position or in the vertical position. That way your slot on the back will be in the horizontal position and it will mate up with the exterior lock. And then there's 3 small black screws that hold the interior lock to into the locking bracket, and there's 2 here in the battery compartment and then 1 below the lock. And that's it. The interior lock is now mounted to the door. You can see the deadbolt works. And it also mates with the frame. I don't have the strike plate on it yet, but just to make sure that it does mate up with the frame. So we're good there. Okay, so I went ahead and chiseled out for the door strike that's on the frame of the door. Now I'm going to mount the strike. Okay, so while the door is in the open and unlocked position, you're supposed to insert 3 AA batteries. So we're going to go ahead and insert 3. And then, now with the 3 batteries inserted, there is a reset button here next to the yellow labeling, and this is the reset key. You're supposed to take and hold down the reset button and then install the 4th battery until you hear a long beep. The reason why you have to do that is because this deadbolt can lock to the left or to the right. So in order for it to detect which way it's locking, you have to reset it. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, you heard the loud beep, and then you release it, and it's detected that it is in fact a right-hand lock. So now we can put the battery cover. Now we can put the battery cover back on, and we should be good to go, and we can start programming the lock. The first thing you'll have to do is press the Teeho button twice and then enter the numbers 1 through 8, which is the master code from the factory, and then hit the Teeho button again, and then hit the number 1 button, and then you can enter your new master code. Once you enter your personal master code, hit the Teeho button once, then you'll need to come back and confirm that number. So you plug in your new personal master code again. So now our master code has been reset, and now we can start programming our keyed code. So we're going to start programming some user codes. So to do that, to add a code, you just hit the Teeho button twice. You put in the master code, hit the Teeho button once. When the green light flashes, you press the number 2. The green light flashes, and then you insert your user code. Hit the Teeho button and it flashes. You confirm your user code. Hit the Teeho button again. Now your user code is programmed in, and we'll test it. To lock the door, you just press any key on the keypad, even the Teeho button, and you hold it down for 2 seconds, and the door is locked. So to unlock it, you press your code, the Teeho button, and it unlocks it and gives you a green light, and you can go inside. Let's lock it. Our door's locked. Now we can do the fingerprint code. So for the fingerprint code, we're going to hit the Teeho button twice. We're going to enter in our personal master code, hit the Teeho button again. Then we're going to hit the number 4 or function 4, and that puts us in the fingerprint function. And then you've got to scan your fingerprint a total of 8 times for it to recognize the fingerprint. And then once you do it that 8th time, it'll flash green and you'll hear a long beep. And at that point, your fingerprint is programmed into the lock. There are other functions like a vacation function, a silent mode, a one-time combination code. There are a lot of numerous features. I don't use all of them. I primarily just use the keyed combination lock, the fingerprint lock, and then the traditional key lock. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you out in your project. I hope you stay safe out there and realize that you can get injured with virtually any woodworking tool. It doesn't have to be a table saw or a planer or joiner. It can be a simple tool like a cordless drill with a Forstner bit on it. So stay safe out there. I hope this video helps you out in your project. If it did, please leave it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. I'll leave a link in the video description below to where you can get all the tools and equipment that I used on this project. I highly recommend the Teeho Keyless Lock. It's a very good lock. This is the second lock that I've bought. The first one was $75 off of Amazon. The second time I bought it, I think they had lowered the price to $69. Again, it has 3 separate locking mechanisms: the traditional keyed lock, the numbered combination lock, and then the biometric fingerprint lock. Again, it's a very nice lock to have. Well, until next time, this is Rick with the Ingrain Workshop. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.